Okay, in the last video I modeled the table and now I've got two cups. We're going to move on here. And again, I'm modeling an interior of like a cafe or something. But you could model whatever you'd like. I mean, I'm all for creative freedom here. I'm going to place that aside. And as you know, I have the backdrop of just gray. Eventually I'm going to change that, but I'll leave it as gray right now. And I'm going to build, like we did in the second assignment, I'm going to build a wall, and so that I can have a window. And like I said, eventually I'm going to have the sky showing, but I'd like to build a wall. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking a cube, and I'm at the top view right now. I'm going to do Control minus so that I can zoom out. And if you hold the space bar, you can kind of move your scene around here a little bit as well. So now I know where the trajectory of my camera is going. And I'm going to make that really tall. And I'm going to make that kind of on a thinner side as well. Because what I want to do is install a window in there. And you guessed it, I'm going to use this is going to be changed. Oops. I need to go to the A and change the attribute to a positive, because I want to use another boolean here, another cube, to cut out a window. And again, this cutout has to be negative. I'm going to make that a little bit wider, and I'm just going to cut through there. Not really going to worry too much about the window frame right now, because I need to kind of build that aside and then install it. So after I have one cutout here, I kind of have an idea of where it's going to be. So I'm going to move that over a little bit using my reposition tool, kind of so that it's centered there. I could see it clearly. And make that taller as well, so that again it hides the whole sky or the backdrop that I have. And again, I've made that one cube into the window cutout. But what I want to do is I want to name that so that I know what it is. This is going to be my window cutout. So under object name in the general object attributes, I'm going to name that window cutout. Again, that's a negative, and I'll click OK. So now that I have kind of the size of the window, I'm going to go into solo mode and build a window next. So I'm just going to go into solo mode. I have the cutout selected, and that's going to stay in place. I'm not going to move that, but I want that as reference for the size of the window. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control D, leave it in place now, I'm not moving it, and then I'm going to make that a little bit smaller so that it'll be the size of the cutout. Now I've got that selected, that duplicate selected, and I'm going to go back into solo mode, and I still have that cutout or the duplicate selected. I'm going to go back into solo mode. So again, I just have the cutout. Now I know the size of the window. And that's what I can now turn into a positive. Okay, so that's going to be my window. I'm not moving it. I'm going to leave it in place. And now I'm going to move over to the top view. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch this background color. Remember, you can switch your paper. I'm going to switch it to grid so that I can see it a little bit better. And I've got these nice little grid area that I can actually now work in. So just using the frame here, I'm going to Control D for duplicate, and then I'm going to make that smaller. What I want to do here is I want to cut out some things. So I'm going to reposition this, and again, it has to be wider to be able to cut out. So right now I'm building the frame of my window. I'm going to move that up a little bit. I'm going to duplicate this and then reposition that right across there, kind of even. Now I can select both by holding down Shift and clicking on the other cube that's going to be a cutout. And I can reposition those even better. There we go. Now I can duplicate those and move that down. Now what I didn't do is I didn't convert those yet into negatives, so I need to do that now. If I have the two selected, I can select the other two. So again, holding down Shift, clicking, don't select the frame, but if you've selected it and you need to unselect, I'm holding down Shift and I'm going to click on the frame just so that I have the 4 cutouts. I'm going to change those now into negatives and making sure that they look dotted. That's the way you can tell that it's actually taken that attribute of negative. And now I can control, or actually just go all the way around here to select everything and then group it. Now you can see that I have a cutout. It looks like a window. And there it is. So now if I go back to everything, so I'm going to turn solo mode off, and you can see that I didn't group the wall and the cutout yet, so I need to do that. So going back in here, carefully choosing the cutout, which is around it. There's my cutout. It's hard to see, but you have to kind of zoom in a little bit. And there's my cutout right there. I'm going to select the wall. So this is the wall here. Holding down Shift, select the wall, group those together. Go back to my view here, and now you can see that I have a window.